So the Veilwyn, a new addition to ARK as part of the Lost Colony pre-order day 1 content, is a very interesting creature to say the least. A teleporting ice fox that seems to have a Swiss army of abilities up its sleeve that we're going to go into great detail on. But what's really got me thinking is, why has Wildcard decided to cap the level of these unofficial to 100? So, and this one being level 100, we're going to start right here. Though I am hearing rumours that there actually is better than 100 unofficial, and of course, unofficial or single player, you're definitely going to get better than that. But taming them is the most simple taming process in ARK. And press E, that's it. Far too easy to tame. And this is on 1x, by the way. That it's an insta-tame. An incredibly easy tame to nab. Why? How? I don't know. Was there meant to be a method beyond this? I'm not too sure. It is worth noting, if you run into a few of them in a pack, they can become a bit skittish. Not as easy to tame, and they are meant to attack you. I've seen a few shots of people being attacked by these. It's worth noting, if you do see a +1 above the Veilwyn, then that's a duplicate. It's a clone version of it, so it's not the master to tame. So you want to look around and find the right one to tame. Apparently crouching helps you tame the right one, and we can claim this one, not a problem. It's the most straightforward tame in ARK without fail. Pretty insane. Look at that. I'll tell you what, seeing this is 95, we'll claim that one. Cool. Right, there we go. That's a mate pair locked in already. Beautiful. So once tamed, you've got the ability to turn it onto companion mode, just like a doggo, giving you the ability of always owning one, because if it dies, just like a doggo, you'll get a countdown for it to respawn and remain as your companion. You'll notice whilst in companion mode, it's wandering around. You can turn that off if you want to. And holding E on it and going to companion whistle commands, you'll see a bunch of different options for you to play with. You can decide on whether to put it into heal stance, close distance, or medium stance. And honestly, I would go for medium distance, or else you're going to find this thing constantly getting in your way at all times. There it goes, and it's off, keeping a bit of distance between me and the Veilwyn. You can ask it to sit down and become a loyal, ever-waiting ice fox. You can ask it to emote and go into a cute begging animation. Ask it to get playful, or pet it from rage with stubby arms. But at least emulating that you're attempting to pet it, I guess, and stroke its belly. Is that the idea here? But of course, it really comes into its own with its 7 new abilities. Moral support speed, that offers a passive movement speed buff to not only your player, but any creature within its vicinity. Which does have a range, by the way. There we go. I've just got out of range of the ice fox. And if we get back in range, there we go. We've got the buff once again. Then we've got a moral support offensive buff that, again, offers a passive buff for the duration you've got it active, but this one increasing any damage you deal. Applies to any tame in range. And then a moral support defensive buff that offers a damage reduction on your player, as well as a damage reduction to any creatures in range. But then, of course, there's 3 extra buffs on top that offer a limited time stacked duration buff. Popping on the Tundra Endurance buff will find a health regen buff to you, refilling your health by 15% and any creature you're riding by 5%. Popping on Tundra Power will see an increase in melee damage of 25% for your player, meaning for one you can harvest even more, and an increase of 10% damage on any creature you're riding. And then finally, Tundra Swiftness is a big one, because this increases not only your creature speed for 5 seconds, offering a 15% movement speed, but the big one, of course, but why things pretty broken, and we'll go into why in just a moment, is Tundra Swiftness on your player, that when combined with moral support speed and swiftness sees a 25% movement speed on your player, but again for a very limited time. And then finally, with the abilities you can do with this thing, is call friends, which will create duplicates, but not once. But many times, allowing you to begin having an insane amount, which seems to cap at a total of 7, but it's now making sense why maybe there was meant to be a cap of level 100 on these things. All of these abilities you can do with ease with a whistle that goes straight into your inventory when turning one into companion mode, which you're gonna want a hotbar, and then either use to assign your favorite ability or have one set as your default whistle skill, so you haven't got to worry about using the wheel on the fly. You can hit it and start running, right? There we go. Notice when it calls its friends in, there is a timer remaining on how long those friends are going to stick around for until it's 0, and then they're all going to pop out of view. And anything that the Veilwyn attacks will deal a slow frosting debuff, not only increasing the duration of the frosting debuff, but when stacked to max, allows you to deal a huge damage spike with any attack. Noticing that was 96 per shot of the primitive shotgun with one that was stacked with ice, and this one 32, tripling the damage you can do on anything that's completely frosted over. Here's the same deal again. So a primitive shotgun against this Rex, 32. One stacked with frost, 96. Triple damage. So it's safe to say the Veilwyn has got a few abilities we've got to test to the max. So here's our character running across 10 foundations, normally without any buffs applied. Here's our character running with both the passive speed buff and the temporary speed buff applied. Here's our character with Focal Chili plus Battle Tartar plus the movement speed passive buff plus the Tundra speed buff, which is phenomenal. And here's our character with Swamp Fever, as well as Focal Chili, as well as Battle Tartar, as well as the passive movement speed buff, as well as the Tundra speed buff. And that is disgusting. That's insanely fast. Feeling almost as fast as any character you could make on ASE. Even without the Tundra Swift buff. This is rapid. This is insanely quick. Look at the speed of my character, dude. I am fast as F-boy. Like, look at the speed, man. Look at the speed on me. Ain't no turrets getting in my way. Look at the speed, dude. It's just insane. Nah. It's ridiculous, man. So the melee, moral support offensive, clicked on. Plus making sure our passive skill is set to Tundra Power. So hitting a dummy with a 298 max sword, we're getting 267 per hit. With the moral support offensive buff on, we're now getting a 279 per hit. And with the Tundra Power turned on, we're getting 350, but only on the first hit. After the first hit, it goes away and that's your lot. You're only getting one melee attack out of that. However, stack it with a Mind Wipe, put all points into melee on a 105 character, and then throw in some Battle Tartar and a beer on top. And holy crap. That was over 4k damage with the sword, with the max sword. 4883 on that first hit. Almost 5k from your character with the sword. That's incredible. So testing it on something that needs healing, such as the Stego, for example. I guess maybe we have defense on during it, because why wouldn't you? And then we put the rapid regen on this time. And we're seeing a decent chunk being healed there with a 40-second cooldown. So let's test it with a Stego that's got 33k health that needs to heal all the way up. It's taken damage in whatever scenario it's been in. And we'll pop on Veggie Cakes as well and see how quick this heals up. Which, yeah, in no time at all, we're already getting close to 10k. Holy crap. In no time at all, yeah, I know we've got Veggie Cakes thrown on this thing. We've already hit 10k, meaning tanking, boss fighting with herbivores, you're going to see even more healing. So there's some logic to consider there. Okay, now getting at a male and female, you'll notice, yes, they can be bred, and there we go. We can make them, we can breed them. And we're going to do that. Once again, a 100 tame pops out with 30 health, and this one with 34 health. So not too bad out of a level 100, and we're going to see what we can get once we level these up. Worth noting, there is a costume skin here, but we can't do anything with that. We can't put helmets on these. I was wondering if that would be the case, but you can't with them. So that's that. Right, now we've got all the stats matched whilst we're waiting for them to pop out a bunch of babies. And we'll give it all the experience needed to go full-blown with that melee, which is revolting. We're at 900 melee already. I kind of want to put a bit in health. Considering it doesn't have any armor, I am kind of inclined to put at least a bit in health. Okay, so this one we've got 2.5k in health and 900 melee, which is revolting. We're going to turn on moral support offensive, and we're going to get it to call its friends. Let's go until we've got 7, and that's it right there. 6 companions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just do one more time just to double check. Which I've noticed you can refresh if you keep doing it, so that's great. So we've got 6 now, all with that dirty melee and the health on top. Get busy. It's going to be dead before I can even do anything. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't even... Didn't even get a hit in. That's crazy. What can we try this on? That's disgusting. That is absolutely filth. Right, then. Let's test this out. So, we've got it multiplied by 6. Make sure they're all popping out. Alright, let's go. Let's all go down here and have a crack at the Ice Queen. With just the dupe. See how this gets on. And at the right time, we're going to go in, if we need to, with an offensive hit. So I need to get down here really. Let the ice cream come to us. Here we go. And we're on. Go. Go. Get busy, get busy, get busy. Is it frozen enough? There's no way of knowing. We're going to just have to place our bets, wait for a dig, and then get involved. That looks frozen to me. Let's do it. Oh, mate. Yeah, that's pretty filth. That's pretty filth. I mean, dudes almost died. But that was one without mate boost and without pack buff. If you didn't notice, there's pluses on these things. Oh my god, look at the thing. It's red raw. And that's without the need of ferrying a load. I've just got the one on companion mode that I've pumped in melee. With obviously a cap sword. Got a few hits in. Filth. Right then. A squad of them. 20 of them. All creating a pack buff and of course mate boost on top. Would you bring them all in? Well, you can sneak them all the way through if you want to. As well as all having the increased damage from moral support from our one Veilwyn companion. So, come on then, let's go. Not forgetting we can put on this extra melee buff to output the damage, at least by one shot, from all of these Veilwyns at once. I'm kind of interested in what's going to happen here. In fact, I just realised... Oh, well, there we go. Too late. I could have duped me one on top. Go. And they're in. And they're getting involved. They're down underneath it. I'm putting a revolting amount of damage on it. Again, giving it that freeze on top. We'll put that in to increase their melee as well. It's already looking super ropey. All the Veilwyns are putting in solid work against this. Noticing, in fact, there we go. Oh my god. They're all just teleporting around this thing. Whilst we're tanking it with a shield. What the hell was that? Damn. And yeah, I mean this one. Is this our companion? Our companion almost died. The rest actually pretty top tier. I guess because I don't know why, because why did this one? Why did our companion in particular take more damage than everyone else? The rest are pretty solid. I guess simply because our companion was closest to us and therefore taking the brunt of the damage as a result. But yeah, holy crap. I think the next one's going to be fail. And PvP, there's just no way you can do this because you can't on cryo here. On PvE you can. And we're going to have to just make sure this dude walks up here, dude. I guess that's about it. I mean, he's just going to obliterate them. There's no way. We've got the regen on with, of course, the ice damage. Maybe we can do more damage with the rockets. I'm really not expecting great things here. Alright. Here we go. And we're on. Oh my god, straight away off to a bad start. And is he coming? Okay. Like, there's no way they're going to do any damage on this thing. Okay, run. Alright, they're all getting involved. They're freezing it. I'm assuming they're in lava. They're getting hurt. They're freezing it pretty quickly, though. That's something, I guess. And we are doing much more damage as a result. Okay, that's something. We're doing 749 a rocket, which is a bit better. And we're just going to keep back, keep regenning. Yeah, like, this is the problem. There's no way. There's no way they're going to survive. No, not a chance. They're all dropping like flies. They're in the lava. Like, they're no good here. But give me that frost damage, definitely. I mean, we're doing way more rocket damage than we were doing before. Rockets are absolutely doing peanuts to this thing without that extra damage. Being able to do 749 a rocket is a lot better than it was. But yeah, in hindsight, I should have probably got my companion to dupe it. The fact I'm kind of okay for a minute, maybe there's a small chance. We'll call you friends. Call you fantastic friends. Nope. Nope. So we'll dupe it now instead. So we're at least getting that ice damage in. Okay, that's better. I need to get that 700 though. They were only hitting it for 1.8. I guess seeing it's not hitting us, so we can at least put on moral support offensive. Get a health regen on that's outweighing the heat. How do I know when it's full frost? That's my problem. Without a spyglass, it's very hard to tell. The fact you can ice this whole thing over, though, is insane. Look at that. I think what we're going to do, just to give us a bit of a help here, is... Okay, we're on full frost. There we go, 749 damage. Oh, and I've lost all the bloody... Oh, crap, man. And do you know what? Considering rockets suck, this might be a strat. Believe it or not, it's definitely a bit ropey, but this is doing much better. I mean, look at that. Look at the difference. Oh, there's that 749 again. All right. Maybe. And with the licks that they're doing, this could just about be done. Maybe. I didn't think this was going to be possible. The fact we're just about getting away with this, I do not know. And that's it. Holy crap. I did not expect that to work. However, we suffered a lot of casualties, but the ones that remained, I think the ones that died was more to the lava than anything. That was fighting it in, sitting in the lava down there. And the ones that didn't fall in the lava managed to survive, including our companion that duped itself. And we did it! And that frost damage plus rockets definitely helped. Of course, as you saw, we went in there with, what, over 100 rockets? 120, I think. We got through 3 rocket launchers and we was on our 4th. And what, we shot out like 50-odd rockets. Feels a bit excessive still. But okay. It's given us a bit of confidence. So, next up, let's see how this goes. 20, well 19, with me riding a bison. Because I feel like I need to give him a minute against our foe all the way over there. But we'll see. I'm thinking if I can stun it with a bison, because the fact they've got no armor, this is just going to be a pain. But I'm also thinking, can I use the attack abilities to put in some serious melee damage on this thing as well? So, I don't know if I explained this at the start. All of these have just over 5k health and just under 700 melee. So, This is never going to work. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. They're off. Oh my god. If he kills one of them, it screws. But he's frozen them straight away. Allowing us to stun it as well to buy it a bit of time. Look at the things. It's looking frozen. It's looking ropey. But so are Veilwyns. If he kills one, there's going to be issues. That's our companion dead. But they did it! Okay, with the help of a bison. No doubt. And our companion did die. I think that was the only thing that did die, actually, which is interesting. I wonder why the companion's taking so much more damage over the rest. Which means the next challenge, I just don't see it happening. I just don't see this happening. Okay, that's seeing we were on the bison. We're going to try this again without that and see if we can try and confuse the Giga, seeing that the Drakelings had the same outcome when we used them without support. So, we're going to use defensive buff, I think. And we got the 6 friends right then. Roll out, squads. And they're all out. This is death. Ready to take on a Giga. Go on, squad. You got this. Are they going to do anything? Are they going to keep it on the ropes? Oh, no. Not a chance. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Just death and destruction. But they froze it in place. Our companions already ran out of health. That's a bit of a problem. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, no. They got it on a rotation for a minute then. We've seen this before with monkeys. But it's just struggling. It's getting the odd biting. Maybe? We're just keeping our distance. I mean, they're definitely putting the work in. Let's have a look without the numbers. They're definitely putting the work in. What I don't want to do is let the Giga aggro on me. Like this. Because that's... No, that's going to ruin it. That's going to ruin it. That's going to ruin it. I made that a problem. I'm sorry. The Giga is fully aggroed on me. I'm pretty sure that just healed up super quick. I'm convinced I just ruined that by being too close. It was going so well. Oh, it was going so well. And then I had to get a bit too close. I mean, yeah, you're never going to do that. And it's fully healed after killing all them. It was better until we made it worse. Okay, then. I'm not convinced this is going to work at all. And that's why we're doing it on Gamma. But we've got to do it. We've got to want to... The title. How powerful are they? Let's find out. Here we go. We're on. And here we go. Let's see if they do some good damage. I'm going to need them to. I'm going to need to keep well away from the foxes. Alright, they're taking down the ice wyverns. Nope. They're taking down the death worms pretty quickly. That's good. And I guess the game is we're just going to have to wait until the wyvern lands. Just make sure these foxes... Look at this! No. Move. We're just going to wait until the foxes... Oh, sake. Look at the foxes just following this thing. Oh, it's amazing. Just keep avoiding that breath. They took out those death worms pretty quick. And then we're going to go in with Sword, Battle Tartar and Beer, the offensive buff, and see if we can do some serious damage. And they're doing fantastic damage, these things. Oh, I wonder if they can buff it at all. I wonder if they can freeze the Colossus Ice Wyvern. Dude, they're taking down those worms, though, no problem. I'm worried they're going to become encumbered and overweight. Got one there, just got hit. Oh, and we're on. Okay. Beer on. Sword. And just get hitting. Get swiping. Doing some decent melee. Our companion just ran out of health, though, unfortunately. Not really getting any licks in. That's a problem. All right, I wonder if we can... Instead, we'll use them to fight the thing, and we'll try and get some big damage output. Oh, there's no way. There's no way. It looks like it's fully aggroed on me, though, rather than the Veilwyns. We could use that to an advantage. I can't even get a lick on it. There we go, there we go. Allow me to run. Allow me to run. Oh, it just freezes me and stops me in place every time. And it's fully focused on me, which, you know, pros and cons there. What I'd love to see, though... Come on! I just can't get away. I can't get away. I just want to see this melee. 972. If I can just try and get it with the bisons. Oh my god, there's no way. Yeah, this is done. I think they're all dead. I don't know if there's any left. But yeah, there they are. There's all the bodies. There's all the bags. They all died. Let's have a look at the log. Yeah, they all died. Well, there we go. It ain't no boss fighter, but there's definitely some experiences there. I think it could lend a hand to some interesting ideas. It's a monster against one or two things in certain circumstances, but it ain't no boss fighter, but still pretty powerful. So until the next one, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and as always, peace out.